Marry me, 10 blessed be. I'd like to read for you an article I wrote in 2001 called The Hard Path. It was a very dark time in my life where I had broke the law, wound up in prison. Sometimes it happens, unfortunately. I used to not believe in karma. I used to think, well, karma was created by the ancient priests to control the masses. And if I don't believe in karma, it has no effect on me. I was wrong, very wrong. And what happened is, sometimes when karma affects people, it doesn't affect them right away. Sometimes it saves up and explodes on them like a bomb. I was one of those unfortunate people where I'd go out and be Mr. Magical Billy Badass, cursing people all over the place, causing problems, and nothing happened, so I figured, okay, karma doesn't exist. I most definitely know that karma exists. It blew up in my life, destroyed my world, and while I was sitting in the ashes of what once was my life, I realized karma does exist. Everyone believes in it, but they call it something different. The Christians say, what you sow, so shall you reap. Pagans will say, what you put out comes back to you threefold, sevenfold, depends on the tradition. Scientists will say, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's a universal constant and a universal belief. Different people call it something differently. Anyways, on to the article. I wrote this for a newspaper called Pagan Net News for the 2001 Mabon issue. Bright blessings to you, my brothers and sisters in the craft. I would like to touch on the sensitive issue, which is communication with incarcerated pagans. I'm not going to criticize you for your decision to ignore your brothers and sisters who have checked into the Gray Bar Motel, as I've not the right to judge you or anyone. I cannot imagine what thoughts run through your mind when the subject of incarcerated pagans comes up. I will say that I was where you are now. In the past, I was at the top of the world, working a high-profile job, making in excess of $40,000 a year, leading a wonderful active group whose members were so close we were a family, as it should be. After work, I'd stop off at the grocery store and examine the cheese section without a single thought as to the price of the large, multicolored, sweet-smelling cheese, as I had ample funds to purchase it or whatever I desired. Arriving home to my townhouse with arms full of expensive groceries, I never bought generic anything. I felt a great sense of peace and security. The love of the goddess was with me. Life was good. One day I was presented with the address of a poor pagan soul who had the misfortune of winding up in prison. He requested religious information and even offered to exchange his lovely drawings of the goddess in the woods for it, as his finances were limited. I did not care why he was there or what his crime was. I figured somehow he deserved to be there, and because, after all, he broke the law and criminals should be in prison. I'd never before been arrested or broke the law. I was truly judgmental, closed-minded, and thought myself better than a convict. I was criticized for my thinking, but argued, what if I make this guy angry? Will he seek me out when released? What if he tried to encourage me to do something illegal? Or what if he has gang connections? And this was a great plan to have his gang rob me, or what if? The what ifs flooded my mind. I thought that this man obviously did not follow the Wicca Reed. Otherwise, why was he in this humble abode that held him? I saw this man as being less than myself. Well, you know what happened to the balloon that became too inflated? At that time, I operated an electric commuter train for a large city. At the end of my route, a bus arrived weekly from a nearby prison, filled with the newly released convicts. As I stepped off the bus, sporting black tattoos, scars, hard faces, big frowns, and gray eyes, fear shot through my body. Their stares seemed to go right through me. I offered them each a cigarette, and gradually their faces began to melt and show a twinkle in the eye and a hint of a smile. Someone had cared enough to help them, even a tiny bit. I did not then know how much that small act of kindness meant to them, because I refused to look at the dark pit of despair from whence they were released. I did not know they were all alone, abandoned by friends and family, had lost all their possessions, and were heading into a world without a home or money to rent even a cheap studio apartment. Looking at them, I thought to myself, I'll never wind up like them, but I will stay away from them so their bad luck doesn't rub off on me. Some lessons in life are hard learned. The type of person I criticized the most became me. Could this be a divine lesson from the goddess that we are all the same? Could she be telling me that there are none more important than others? All are precious in her eyes, and she loves us equally. Even with my hard thinking toward my fellow man, the lady loved me. Now that I am in this dark, pitted misery, where family, friends, loved ones, and even my own people have forsaken me, the sweet love of the lady remains ever true. She has not, nor will she ever leave me. Incarcerated pagans are not much different than you. We love. We feel compassion, have a sense of responsibility, respect for the goddess, and our religion and our feelings get hurt just like yours. Because we are human, we make mistakes, don't you? Please, before casting judgment upon others who worship the goddess as you do, don't you think it would be good to know something about us? We are very intelligent people. Some of us are artists, writers, musicians, craftsmen of several types. Our only desire is to love and be accepted. Society has already condemned us. Our families shun us. Our people reject us. When our own people reject us, it makes our difficult walk even harder. Our devotion to the lady is tested by fire. If being in this hell has not diverted us from our path of light, then nothing will. We are your brethren, and humbly ask that you not forsake us, as all others have. Are the words perfect love and perfect trust meaningless, or do you love and trust a very select few, who fall into a narrow category that even you might not be able to live up to? Where is the love of the goddess that is the foundation of our worship of her? Should we not love each other as she loves us? There are many pagan men and women locked away, forgotten, who would love to receive even a postcard just to say that they're in your prayers. Those who are more completely trained, could use your special abilities to heal the broken-spirited. Sometimes all it takes is someone to listen to your problems to help solve them. It does not require a large commitment to spread the light of the goddess to those who most need it. Help out where you can, as your captive audience will appreciate any help you can offer. I pray to the goddess you never wind up in this dark hell, as I wish that no one has to undergo this terrible place. With love and peace, I wish you bright blessings and a happy life, and perfect love and perfect trust. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. I wrote this because I was confused as to all the judgmental pagans who would look at me like I was nothing. I mean, I was there too. I looked at pagans in prison as being the lowest of the low, dirty, filthy. They broke the law. They deserve to be there. I'm just asking that you find these pagans in prison and write to them, send them a letter, send them a postcard, something, anything, just to brighten their day. They're going to be out onto the streets someday. And any kindness that you can show them will soften their hearts, so when they finally hit the streets, they'll be a lot nicer people. They'll know that there's someone out there in the world that cares about them. I'm Reverend Stan Sixdad. Bright blessings to you.